couples come to us and they say that we're starting to have arguments and disagreements and we never used to argue before. Is our marriage falling apart?
Well, we would say, no, it's not falling apart. It's part of a normal trajectory in a marriage that's developing and growing. And in fact, sometimes arguments are a really healthy sign of a growing relationship. They can be destructive towards a marriage and destructive in the relationship, but the complete absence of arguments isn't necessarily a healthy sign either. And the answer is no. Their marriage is not necessarily falling apart at all. In fact, arguments can be a really healthy sign in a marriage because they're often the result of the marriage and the individuals undertaking personal growth. That's one of the clues or the tricks, I think, to successfully approaching marriage difficulties is to see them as an invitation to growth rather than seeing them as an unmitigated disaster or a catastrophic diagnosis of terminal cancer. It's actually an invitation for us to grow and to become better people.
An argument is the way we express ourselves, not always well, by the way. I mean, arguing's not great, but it's an expression of a disagreement between us, of a difference between us. And it's like the grinding cogs of a wheel in our car, or in the gears in our car. And so it's sending a signal that there's a disagreement, something different between us. We had our best arguments at 3 o'clock in the morning on the upper landing of our house over how to put a baby to bed that wouldn't sleep. We were tired out of our brains and we would just argue because we had different parenting styles. And so we had a disagreement. It expressed as an argument. Did it mean our marriage was a disaster? No, of course not. It just meant we were trying to struggle with something that was very important to us at that time. So then the experience of an argument, which is just a poorly expressed disagreement, is a sign that your marriage is actually doing work. You're growing together. You're finding out differences and you're trying to work your way through them. So we'd rather not argue. But the presence of an argument is just signalling there's something different that we have to work on together. So we should recognise that and grasp it. Just the same way we go into the gym and we pick up a weight that's too heavy and then we try and lift it. Why do we do that? Because we want to grow. We want to strengthen ourselves. So these things are an invitation to learn about each other. There's always hope in marriage. The hope comes from not giving up and giving in to our fears or our laziness, but rather to grasp the opportunity to grow. And disagreements and arguments are moments like that, and how we choose to react is really important.
So the trick with arguments is to turn them into a positive growth experience rather than a destructive experience. And we do that by approaching them as an invitation to grow and to become better people.